Welcome back to Milk and Honey Oracle. This is a full moon in Aries reading for my water signs. We have a full moon in Aries coming up on Thursday, October 17th. And this is a little bit about what you need to do to weather this full moon for my water signs. As always, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Let's dive in. First up, we have a new start is coming, new moon, surrender to the divine, full moon, and meditate and contemplate new moon in Pisces. If you are a Pisces, Saturn has been wreaking havoc for quite some time now, so it might be refreshing to see that a new start is coming. I definitely think that we are closing out some cycles, not only with this full moon, but energetically. And I think that we are being called to come back to the divine, to reinvest in our spiritual practices. So I think it's great and fitting that meditate and contemplate are here. I think water signs, we are all spiritual for sure. But life gets in the way, and sometimes we dial in our spiritual practices, and there is nothing wrong with that because I am all about a budget witch tip. But there are also times where our vessels, our bodies, our minds, our spirits, our souls need to ground back into our spiritual practice. And I think that, part of that is the new start that we're, going to ground back into our spiritual practice. But I also believe that we're closing out some cycles here. We've been through a lot. Saturn's going to change signs, which is fantastic, for a little bit. But we need a bit of a new start, but I don't think that it's necessarily, it could be, but I'm not really getting that it's necessarily big new starts, new job, new place to live, new relationship. Those could certainly be in there, but I think that this is more to do with us, a new start to us. And whether that is you are going to live more authentically, you're going to make better choices that align more with your purpose or who you want to be. I think that we're coming into ourselves more. We're becoming more comfortable with who we are and who we want to be. And that will take us where it is that we want to go. So let's get a little validation on these cards as we move forward. Okay, soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and be held. And boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? I think that this definitely validates that this is more of a internal, personal new beginning for us. I don't know about you. I have been called to rest for sure. The energy has been exhausting. And I think that we often need to take time to rest before we start a new chapter, before we start a new journey. I think part of the soul family is the boundaries, making sure that you're saying no to anything that does not align with you, where you want to be, how you want to have relationships, where you want to go, how you want to think. You're making some deep changes to yourself. They may not feel deep, and they may have been a whole bunch of little things that you've been working on over the past 6 to 8 months that are really grounding in at this point in time, that you're really solidifying as who you are, not just as habits, but as who you are. And I think byproducts of that are going to be, limiting your relationships to those who get you, who honor you, respect you, cheer you on, don't question you, don't make you feel guilty. And you're drawing boundaries for yourself. You're not saying yes to things that don't align with your goals. And I think that's fantastic. And I think that for a lot of water signs, that probably is a new start in and of itself. I know setting boundaries for me isn't always the easiest thing. And sometimes it's a lesson that comes back around and around and around. But that's everything, right? Okay, what else do we need to know for this full moon in Aries? We have first quarter moon in Libra, keep your heart open. New moon in Virgo, trust all will be well. And first quarter moon in Aquarius, trust the universe. I think this is even more validation that you need to trust the decisions that you're making for yourself right now, the priorities that you're choosing, the goals that you have. Everything's going to work out. Every time we choose ourselves, how we want to think, how we want to be seen, how we want to present ourselves to the world, what we want to do with our time, what we want to do with our energy. Every time we trust the universe and choose those things, your heart is automatically open and everything is going to work out because it's your higher self that is being guided, that is making these choices. And you can't make a wrong decision. You can't choose incorrectly. No matter what path you choose, if you're making these decisions from your higher self for your best good, you will never fail. You will always, always prosper. Okay, let's get our last bit of validation. We have do something different. Doesn't that fit in well? Accept what is dying and accept disappointment gracefully. This absolutely goes hand in hand with what we've been talking about. Do something different. Make different choices for yourself. Sorry, you can hear my dogs in the background. Make different choices. Make the choices that align with your authentic self. Don't make the choices that you think everybody else wants you to do. Do something different. Accept what is dying. As we change, as we grow, as we heal, there are aspects of ourselves that die off. We become a new person. And the same can be said for relationships and how we feel about things, perceptions, beliefs, limiting beliefs. Accept that that's going to happen and accept that that's okay. And while it may be disappointing, sometimes it's for our greatest good. And sometimes the other end, the end of whatever that disappointment is that's not affecting us, it's affecting somebody else. Sometimes it's for their greatest good as well. And when things don't work out the way that you want them to, it just means that there is something better coming down the pike for you. Always, always something better is going to happen if what it is that you really want does not work out. There is better waiting for you. Pisces, I think that this completely aligns. I said Pisces. I meant water signs. I say Pisces because I'm a Pisces. Clearly, this is a water sign reading. But my water signs, I think this is a true testament to where a lot of us are right now, going within, changing to be more of our authentic selves. It's not always comfortable. It is definitely different. But I think that letting go of who we have been and accepting who we are working to be, who we're inviting to bring in for our authentic selves, is exactly what this full moon is about for us. I hope something resonated with you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.